Today we're going to take a closer look at your favorite semiconductor company, Intel. They report earnings later this week, and I actually want to take a closer look at 3 things investors should know about. And honestly, even if you're not an Intel investor, might be an investor in companies like AMD or NVIDIA, I do believe this company will give us great insight of what to expect on earnings for those other companies. And if this is your first time here, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for free Discord, free tech channel, and so much more. So let's get started.
I do want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and make sure to check out fool.com/Jose to get the top 10 stocks to buy right now.
Let's take a quick look at price. Right now the stock is sitting at $39.32 with a market cap of $160 billion and a dividend yield of 3.7%. We all know that Intel is kind of focusing on moving into the foundry business, and that can definitely be an expensive move. I want to know from the viewers, do you believe Intel's dividend yield is in trouble or is at risk of lowering as it kind of expands into new markets? Outside of that, we can see from its 52-week high, the stock is down roughly 30%. So for those not familiar, the company does report earnings July 28th after the market closes. That is this upcoming Thursday. The first thing I actually want to take a closer look is how the consumer market is reacting at the moment. Earlier this month, we did take a closer look at this report that worldwide PC shipments fell about 15.3% in the second quarter of 2022. If we take a closer look at kind of Intel's revenue, we do know a good portion of their revenue comes from client computing group, and this is a lot of consumer products, and I do believe this will give us some form of insight of what's happening. On the consumer side, Intel is expected to release their new kind of generation, Raptor Lake, which is going to be their 13th generation, and hopefully we might get a little bit more information during their earnings call if that's expected to be released later this year. The second market I'm going to take a closer look at is their data center and AI group. We have taken a look at ASML and TSMC's earnings the past few weeks, and one thing they both say is that the kind of data center market is still in full swing. So I want to kind of verify from Intel that hey, the data center market is still looking pretty strong. Unfortunately, they might kind of say the opposite if they have strong competition for the likes of AMD, but I do believe they can at least share some insight of what's happening in the market right now. Intel is expected to release their 4th generation Sapphire Rapids for the kind of data center market and server market later this year, so hopefully investors might get a little update on that as well. The third thing I actually want to take a closer look is the foundry business for Intel. If we take a closer look at their most recent quarter, this is one of the smallest segments for this company, the IFS. But just today, the company did announce that MediaTek, a kind of big semiconductor company, is going to be using Intel's foundry business for certain chips. I want to say this is probably one of the biggest updates in the foundry business we've seen in the past few months, and I do want to say that kind of shows a bullish trend for Intel in their foundry move. But like I mentioned, this is a small portion of this company's total revenue. So what I really want to learn is how they're going with the advancement of this space. It is very expensive, and we have seen that Intel is kind of slowing down some of their expansion because of the delay of the CHIPS Act that was kind of promised to Intel to kind of help accelerate this manufacturing move here in the United States. So I definitely want to hear an update from this. Personally, I don't own Intel individually, but obviously some of the ETFs I do own it. I am not bullish nor bearish on Intel at the moment. I'm pretty neutral, but I do believe that this is a company that can turn things around if they can continue to kind of innovate and become competitive in the CPU market for both the consumer side and the data center side. They definitely have a lot to win. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you next time.